Hello again, YouTubers. This old blade with a unboxing and overview for you today of something that just landed about, 15 minutes ago. How about that? And looks like these reviews on this particular knife are starting to come in force now that the availability is up. So this is the new auto on the block from Kershaw, the Launch 13, companion to a number of other launches. Let's crack it open and see what we got here. Well, we got some literature. Don't know if it pertains directly to the knife. Actually, it doesn't. It does show us a number of knives by Kershaw, so we're going to dispense with that for the moment and see what's in the bag. This is a very light knife. Let's start with that. Crazy light. 2.475 ounces. 2.5 ounces. Wow. So we've got, before we fire it, an aluminum handle, black coated, anodized of some sort, or coating, I presume. Got an interesting plunge lock mechanism there, like most side opening autos. Pushing this releases the blade. Got a nice deep carry clip, which I love, discreet. It's a short one. Got the flag on the side. I don't know if that means it's made in the US or not. We'll find out. I don't know if it tells me on the box. Yeah, made in the US. All right. Hence the flag. Not just designed here, but made here. Kind of a skeletonized back. Two halves put together from machined, I believe, aluminum. Don't know if it's T6 aluminum or not. Let's fire it open. Quick. Nice. Satin finish. And this steel is not 154 cm, but the better stuff, CPM 154. It's the powder metallurgy. Very nice. Got some interesting grinds here with the way the swedge is on the top. Very space age kind of looking thing. And some very useful jimping there. My thumb's not going anywhere. You know, for its size, apparent size and weight, back up a little bit. It is a pretty good knife in the hand. I mean, it's not so small that I don't get all my fingers on there. How long is the blade, you might ask? And the knife. So I've got 3.5 inches. I've got a cutting edge of 3 3/8 thereabouts, with sort of a choil area in there. Let's see. Yeah, you can get your finger on there without cutting yourself, because they set the edge termination forward. It's an interesting kind of choil in there, where that edge doesn't come quite all the way back. They've relieved that to keep you from sticking your finger on the edge when you hold it. So yeah, I mean, you could choke up. So light though. Really crazy. And a strong spring. I can feel it when I close it. It's no weakling. There's the firing actuation button. This design ahead of it almost looks like a button, but it isn't. It's just a triangular sort of, well, actually it's the other side of the pivot. That's nice. I don't know that I'd want to open this guy up and deal with coil springs and all of that kind of thing. So as you can see, it is a switchable right and left side tip-up carry. Let's fire that again. Let me try it slow. Hey, you got some kind of squeakiness creep there. I might drop a little bit of oil right about there to lube that plunge lock so that slides a little easier. There's one thing you get on these, since it's under pressure, it's under spring pressure, by pushing on this to release it, that plunge lock is always bearing against the frame. So you put a little lube in there, you're pretty much good to go. Back when I had a few Rainy Valentin knives, custom made side openers, he gave me something called Malubaloy. Still got a little tube of that around. That's good for some of your auto actions. It's kind of a darkish color grease that at least worked well with autos of its time. It might still. So you can hide the thing in your hand. I mean, it is that small. But when it's open, it's 3.5-inch blade of CPM 154. What other features do we have here? We've got the Kershaw name on the clip. It's a black clip, so it doesn't really broadcast out. Got Auto Kershaw on the show side. And we've got basically the model number, Kai Cutlery, USA, CPM 154 on the other side. Got their logo here. I'm not sure if that's Kai's logo. No, that's Kai up there. Could mean auto. Not sure what that symbol is. Maybe you know. And seems to be pretty sharp out of the box. Shaving sharp, but not with a bite. So, I mean, it's going to cut stuff. It's just not going to grab on some materials. So, might be a future candidate for the KME. We'll see. Nice worn cliff design. Thin stock. We didn't do the stock, did we? Let's do the stock. 3 millimeters. Seems thinner. Flat ground. Quite thin behind the edge. And this, shout out to Knife Center. Got a good deal there. They had the lowest price. I think it was $109 when everybody else was 10, 20 bucks more than that. So they had them in stock and they had a good price. So I went with it. So first Knife Center purchase. So thank you, Knife Center. Great job. You know what I see that is interesting here is the way that, let's see if I can, the way that the blade angles up. Can't really see it there. See if I can show you in a straight shot. So that angle has a slight incline. The whole blade kind of angles up. Sometimes I don't like that, but this is the way the handle compensates for it. You do have a nice, what it does is set the handle back so you can actually work with the knife. You see? So your knuckles don't get in the way like that. So pretty good design. Might have also needed to be that way to fit it in the handle. Not sure. The handle's kind of radical, so you do have to, when you select the handle design like that, you do have to make some compromises for how the blade shapes and goes into it. Let's do some quick comparisons against the Benchmade Griptilian. Comparable size knife, although the Griptilian is a much higher in primarily the handle and certainly somewhat in this portion of the blade. It's funny, you close a spring-loaded knife and you expect all the other knives to be spring-loaded too. I just felt an absence of pressure there when I closed the Griptilian. So there's a pivot. The Rat 1 is 1/2 inch longer in the blade and a good 3/4 of an inch longer in the handle. And the Freak. Very, well, somewhat comparable. Freak's handle's longer, and the blade is ever so slightly longer pivot to pivot. So there, fresh out of the box, you have the Kershaw Launch 13, latest iteration of the Launch series, of which there are a number of others, including some little baby ones. Nice design. I don't often pick up the straight out the side autos with the button. I usually like a few more features, but I liked this design when I saw it. So I bit for it, and there it is. Hope you enjoyed that. Be sure to give this a like and subscribe. This Old Sword, signing out.